soon? As in what? Do you want? Come on, it's me. I never know what I'm doing. Yes, drop flag at about second row, as long as they're all in line. If they're not in line by the second row, then don't drop the flag. Okay, copy in row 4, row 5.
Can you hear me? You had already bought some. Sickle. Sorry, I can't get that.
We're just making sure.
All right, thanks guys. Do you want this power board?
What to say?
Do you want this power board?
No, leave it.
Sorry, Daniel, I just got interrupted. What was that, please, mate?
Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed the hospitality of the Wakefield Park Cafe. We're now back to start racing for this weekend, and we start with the first of 3 races for Super Sports. Currently on pole position for this rolling start will be Darren Barlow in the Suzuki powered store. Alongside him will be John Beck in the first of several radicals that are running here this weekend. His SR3 is car 77, SR3 RS, told by the difference on the headlights particularly. As they come down, they'll get the green flag dropped any moment. Barlow certainly quicker in qualifying and gets a good start from the back. Peter Hills has already picked up 2 spots in the SR8, but he's left in second spot. 1 in trouble, and that looks like Beck drops back down through the field as Barlow the first time across the top. Looks like we've got Mitch Nielsen moving to the second spot in his SR3 as they head down towards Fishhook for the first time. 10 laps the distance, already halfway through the first lap. So car 27 leads the way. That's Darren Barlow. He's undefeated in Super Sports this year. This has been the 3rd round. First 2 rounds at Sydney Motorsport Park. He won all 3 races there as well. So he comes down to complete the first lap out onto the straight. Nielsen in second. Possibly be Hills up the 4th spot, so he's made up some good ground in that first lap. And being the SR8, the V8 version of the Radical, quickly moves into 3rd spot with Boko in 4th, Champion in 5th, and Beck after that slow start, Kenny and Kersok rounding out the field. Field's made up of 1 store, 7 of the Radicals. SR8 currently in 3rd spot, the only non-SR3 at this stage. Across the top we go, opening lap. 4.6 seconds the gap between Barlow and Nielsen the first time round. And Hills trying to get into 2nd spot. How close is he at the moment? We just wait and see. I think he's just behind. It was 1.7 seconds. The gap's come down slightly, I would suspect. Second round to complete, lap 2. Barlow through in 59.44. They'll be very quick compared to the others. Nielsen in second, and Hills right on the back of them at this moment as they go down to turn 1. Nothing between those 2. Rako in 4th, then Champion move back in the field behind them. Hills back in the back of the field. Order is Barlow, Nielsen, Hills, Rako, Champion, Beck, Kenny, and Kersok. Back at the moment, not much between them, so good, interesting little dices forming around the track at the moment, but Barlow's getting quite lonely out in front. The GSXR Suzuki powered store leading quite comfortably, 7.5 seconds at the end of the last lap and continuing to go away. Good dice going on for second. Mitch Nielsen in the SR3, Peter Hills in the SR8, and minor stern, so you would expect that on the straight the SR8 will have good performance. Nothing between the next 3 as Beck tries to get past Champion. I think he has. Yes, he has. So he's in, moved up 1 spot. He's behind Brako now. That'll be the next challenger as they go down to turn 1. This is the start of the 4th lap. And Barlow continues to push out fastest times quite significantly over the rest of the field. 10.7 seconds the gap between he and the race for second, where Hills has got through on Nielsen. Can Hills do anything with clean air ahead of him, trying to run down our race leader? Come down through the Fishhook, nothing there. Beck trying to get back those positions he lost on the opening lap. He's right on the back of Brako now, out of turn 7. Moving towards 8, 9, of course. Completion of yet another lap. Interesting to see the lap time now that Hills is up clear of Barlow. Can he do anything about the race leader at 58.2. So Barlow just goes quicker every lap. Hills has broken into the under 60-second bracket of 59.8. And Beck looks like he's got past Draco, so Beck up in 4th spot. He's gathered back some of that lost positions. He was on the front row to start with. He's fallen well back down the field. Lockie Mansell joins us now as we come into the second half of the first race for the weekend.
Helps if I put the correct commentary headset on. Good afternoon to you, Gary. Good afternoon, everybody here at Wakefield Park. And good afternoon to all of those of you tuning in via Blendline TV on the live stream as well. Some great racing to come up this afternoon here at Wakefield Park for round number 3 of the Cabs New South Wales Motor Racing Championships Production Touring HQ Holdens Improved Production over and under 2 litre, and of course the 2 national categories on the program this weekend as well. Round number 3 of the Australian Formula 4 Championship, round number 2 of the National Sports Sedan Series as well.
It's the first lap that Barlow hasn't gone quicker than he has previously. Back out into 58.9 till second. The gap 13.5 seconds is not necessary for him to continue on at breakneck speed. Certainly has this event covered at the moment. Wilson third, Beck 4th, and Beck at the moment is about 0.3 of a second faster than Nilsson in position 3. But whether he's got enough time to make up that leeway, I suspect he must have had some sort of drive or gearbox problem on the opening lap, because he just went from second back to last basically for a brief period and had to fight his way back through the field to get back to position 4. Draco in 5th, champion 6, Wilson in 7th, and Kenny rounds him out at this stage, and gaps are elongated somewhat, but Barlow continues to lead 14.5 seconds that lap over Hills. Wilson in 3rd. To see whether his lap time was on the improved. And it looks like actually Nilsson responded by just going a little bit quicker than what Beck did on that last tour.
Of course, Peter Hill's in the Radical SR8, so the V8 powered version of Radical's prototype race car. All of the other Radical drivers ridden the SR3s.
SR3s and RSs. There's two model variants out there, mainly aero and just a aesthetic change as well. Peter Hills, yes, if you're wondering, that is the Peter Hills that used to race in Super Touring many moons ago. Started in a non-turbocharged Ford Sierra before getting into Mondeos for a while. This lead continues to grow. 15.6 seconds over Hills in 2nd spot, Nilsson 3rd. I did say in qualifying that I thought it was the ex-Nick Kelly car, but told that in fact it came out of Europe, or out of Asia, this car, so it is not that car. It just carries the same number and same colours that Nick Kelly raced last year, and it is an SR8.
So comprehensive margin for Darren Barlow at the front of this field. He's laid out to more than 15.5 seconds. He's still lapping in the high or low 59s at the moment, 59.1. Lap number 8.
If he can continue this sort of form throughout the rest of the season, i.e. not being beaten, I wonder how many times that's been done in the past where someone's won a series without having lost the race. Too many of them.
They're pretty impressive performance if you can pull it off. And a lot of attention focused at the moment on the Australian Prototype Series, which runs with the Shannon's Nationals because of the announcement that LMP3 cars are going to be introduced into the category from next year. And I think in many ways this super sports category that we've got here this weekend, it's sort of the state level equivalent of the Australian Prototype Series in terms of the cars that are eligible for it.
Well, Barlow went to the opening round of the Prototype Series at the Bend, won 2 races, was running, or just lost the lead in the 3rd when he had a engine let go. Peter Padden in a Radical ended up winning that race. So Yeah, I think with the Wolves coming in, they certainly lifted the performance, lifted the profile of prototypes, and sure, if you get Legers and such like from LMP3, stuff that's been run before. Actually, while we're just talking, the gap between third and fourth has just dropped dramatically. Nelson just ahead of Beck. And actually, Nelson goes around the outside of, Beck goes around the outside of Nelson, out of turn 2. Nelson tries to fight back going up the hill. He's not going to do it. So Beck's fought all the way back from last to third. And I suspect Nelson must have had a drama, something that our eyes missed. But that gap dropped dramatically. It was quite comfortable. As the checkered flag is out for our race winner. Darren Barrow takes out the first race of 3 this afternoon, round 3 of Supersports State Championships.
And just a single day race meeting for the Super Sports. So on the program for 3 races today. Then they pack up and go home. We have production sports cars having a single day event tomorrow.
Peter Hill's just crossing the line in the SR8 in 2nd spot. And John Beck comes through in 3rd spot ahead of Mitch Nelson. Next 2 cars coming across the line. Paul Braco, I should say, and followed home by Steve Champion. And the last 2 cars will be
Darren Kurzok, and rounding out the field, Greg Kenny in his Radical. So that is the opening race for the Super Sports done. All sprint races on the programs at Wakefield Park, so we'll grab a break here in commentary, and on the live stream we'll be back with race 1 for the New South Wales production touring cars very shortly.
Production Touring coming out on track for the first of their 3 races this afternoon. First one this afternoon, over 10 laps, 2 more tomorrow. 3rd round for these guys this year. They raced at Sydney Motorsport Park at the first round of the New South Wales State Championships, and then they joined the National Series down at Sandown more recently. We've put quite a good roll up going down there. The race, the first 2 of 4 1-hour races, and they completed their race. Some hung around and raced on Sunday, but just a quick rundown through the field. Round 1 winner Clay Skinner will be on pole in his Evo, with Tony Virag in the HSV GTS alongside him on the front row, both from Extreme Performance A1.
Forced induction, yep, correct. Row number 2 of the grid, we have Darren Herbert, who's the best of the Class B1 cars in his Mitsubishi Evo 5. And then Matthew Holt, who is the best of the Class A2 Extreme Performance Naturally Aspirated entries. Back then to Stephen Thompson and Mark Kane in positions 5 and 6. Brad Schumacher in 7th position in the Subaru WRX STI. Daniel Smith out of position number 8 on the grid. Daniel Smith, the best of the Class D runners. Adam Gosling and Jack Winter, positions 9 and 10. Then we go back to Jeff Kite. Gavin Holland in the CXC Global CGR Performance Mitsubishi Evo. Back then to Paul Pearson, Josh Muggleson in the VW Golf. Harrison Dray in 15th position ahead of David Baker. Zach Loshalpo in the Toyota 86, one of our Toyota 86 Series regular competitors. Then Charlie Viola in the second of the Track School Racing Honda Integras. Ollie Shannon, Stuart Vaughan in the Mazda 6 Diesel. And then Andrew McMaster and Kurt Metcalf, the 2 Mazda 3s, rounding out the field.
Yeah, car 77, the Winter Evo in the pits on warm-up lap. That's the Jack Winter car. Unfortunately, may not be taking the start in this one. They've got the bonnet up, so that's not looking good. We'll go straight to a start very shortly. Just waiting for the wave green at the back. We've got that. And then
Clay Skinner it is, who gets the jump on Tony Virag. Not too much of a surprise there. Using the all-wheel drive traction to advantage to jump ahead of the heavier but also more powerful HSV GTS of Tony Virag.
And up the back straight, you should see the HSV move in, but those corners come up pretty quick on a short circuit like this, and there's not a lot you can do about it. Already the front 2 have gapped the rest as they head up the top. Across the top the first time.
Daniel Smith running side by side with Jeff Kite heading into turn number 5. Kite hangs tough around the outside and holds on to that position. Daniel Smith did a really good job in qualifying to out-qualify a number of the cars in the higher performance classes, but I feel like he's just been gobbled up by some of those more powerful vehicles off the start.
Yeah, Herbert back behind our race leads. Herbert under all sorts of threat from Holt, as is Thompson from Kane. Kane trying to go down the inside of him, down into the final corner, and gets it done, just as Holt did on Herbert. So we've had 2 changes back behind our leaders on the opening lap.
Oh, and a big moment for Paul Pearson coming out of turn 10. The rear end of his VE Commodore skipped sideways, and that has allowed Daniel Smith to hold on to that position. Drag race happening as well between David Baker in the Honda Integra and Josh Muggleson in the VW Golf. David Baker just about holds on to that position as they head down the main straight, but Muggleson's rounded him up on the outside, and here's Daniel Smith again finding himself having a battle with some of the more powerful cars. He loses a spot to Gavin Holland in the CGR Performance High-Tech Oils Mitsubishi Evo, which goes around the outside but runs wide at turn 5. Smith will fire it back down the inside at turn 6. This is a great contest between cars and drivers that will have strengths and weaknesses in different parts of the racetrack.
And right behind him, right beside him, Josh Muggleton. He's the Class D rival to Smith this weekend, and not far away from challenging the class leader. If you can just get that pesky Evo 9 out of the way, you'll be right. As they come down now to complete this, will be the completion of the second lap. Our race leader Skinner leads by less than a second over Virag in second. Virag, winner of the Sandown round, had John Bauer co-driving in the 2 1-hour races. That's in the outright situation, of course, and in this particular case they're both A1 cars. Holt is third, first of the A2 cars. Herbert fourth, first of the B1 cars. And then Kane in 5th spot, who was a star at the opening round at Sydney Motorsport Park, putting the pressure right on Virag on the circuit you would expect that car to dominate at.
Yeah, considering that Kane's car's naturally aspirated and Virag's HSV GTS has the forced in all wheels off the racetrack. Great car control to save that and get back out onto the circuit, only losing the single position to Adam Gosling, who was able to get down the outside, inside at turn 10.
That's not lucky. 4-wheel drive helps. And in the forefront of that, I think we've seen Gosling go through on him as well in the BMW. So we're down 3 laps on the 4th, and it's still Skinner leading the way. He's stretched that margin now slightly out to 1.4 seconds over Virag. Holt, Herbert the next 2, then Kane and Thompson, Gosling, Schumacher, Jeff Kite in the B2 Redline. Pearson also in a Redline B2 class car are running 9 for 10. They were pretty much leading that class. Gosling leads the class, so you got 3 B2 cars in the top 10. And there they thread their way around, so battles continue. Herbert on the back of Holt, trying to get past him as they go down through the last corner to complete another lap. And while Holt did get past, he hasn't been able to move away. His next problem, of course, will be whether Kane and Thompson can catch those two there.
And another move on screen, that's David Baker having a look down the inside of Harrison Gray into turn 10, and we've got Zach Lashalpo involved in that battle as well. That is the contest for 3rd, 4th and 5th within Class D. There's a really good gathering of Class D cars here at Wakefield Park this weekend.
And they're toing and throwing down to turn 1, the 333 car, the ex-Jimmy Vernon car from this category, gets the tail out going out of turn 2, but holds position. So it's a Toyota 86 in front of the Honda Integra.
Yeah, there is a bit of a difference. So the car that Harrison Gray is in, which as you rightly identified as the car that Jimmy Vernon has raced in this category previously, that's a Toyota 86 that's been built specifically for production car specs, whereas Zach Lashalpo's car is actually a Toyota 86 series car that just has the production touring car control tyres on it.
Ah, there you go.
So there are some subtle differences between those cars.
And this is not the 333 is not the car that Jimmy Vernon raced in the Toyota 86 series last year.
No, it's the car that he raced in production touring, so 2 separate cars. As we see Kane on the attack on Herbert. Nice move, turn number 3, gets the job done through the left-hander and moves up to position 4 outright. He's still second in the A2 class behind Matthew Holt. And so running through the class order at the moment, Clay Skinner, your outright leader, also the leader of Class A1. Leader of Class A2 is Matthew Holt in 3rd outright. Darren Herbert, best placed of the Class B1 cars, in position 4 outright at turn number 10. And the leader of Class C is Stuart Vaught in that Mazda 6 diesel, the ex-Celebrity Challenge car from the Australian Grand Prix back in 2013. And Ed Master leads the way in Class E at this stage.
Yeah, Kane gets back that spot on the straight from Herbert. So Kane back to 4th spot. Herbert 5th. Thompson now raging in on the back of the earlier model Evo and his late model Evo. And I would expect maybe a bit of pressure may come before this is over. This battle in Class D continues with now the Integra ahead of both of the Toyotas. 37 there, the Baker machine ahead of Gray and Loscalpo. But for how long? Because Gray comes back at him as they head up the hill through turn 3. Across the top now.
Now remember that the David Baker car was class winner at the Bathurst 6 Hour last month, where he had a ding-dong battle for most of the race with the Gray and the Josh Heath Toyota 86. And once again finds himself involved in a battle with the 86. Gray sends it down.
There's nothing between those cars in straight line performance, but you would expect the Integra down the inside at the last corner. Maybe not quite close enough, can't quite do it.
And Zach Lashalpo just maintaining a watching brief behind those two drivers, as Baker decides to slot back into the slipstream behind Harrison Gray. Pulls out, looks to the inside at turn 1. They'll run side by side.
Oh, locks the brake up, going in the corner, doesn't do it though.
One of the advantages of the 86 is it does have ABS brakes, so they can get on the brakes.
Didn't help him because he ran wide out of the corner.
And so Baker gets back through. What a cracking contest.
It is. It's on really between these three. The big loser, potentially big loser out of that could have been Gray. With Loscalpo just in behind him. As you said, watching and waiting. We go back and Thompson finally has passed Herbert. So the newer model Evo ahead of the older model Evo. A1 versus B1.
Herbert certainly hasn't disgraced himself, though, has he?
Done
He's doing
very
a
well.
great job in that older model car to be running with much newer and more powerful and more sophisticated machinery.
Yeah, B1 being high performance forced induction as opposed to extreme performance forced induction. One of the stars of today, at least, along with Daniel Smith in the Honda Integra Class D, currently running 10th outright.
There's been a bit of discussion over the last couple of weeks on the class structure of production cars and production touring cars in Australia.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone there, but
And some suggestions about what may or may not change in the future.
yeah, it's all in the hands of our administrators, no doubt. In the meantime, Clay Skinner continues to lead. His lead is 2.87 seconds over Tony Virag. A circuit very much suited to the four-wheel drive turbo cars as we look down the field. See Pearson
And Gavin Holland as well, so that's the contest for 11th and 12th position. Gavin Holland looking to the inside of Paul Pearson at turn 10.
and Muggleton is at Volkswagen. You see right in behind him. It was quite close to Smith in the opening stages, but I dare say that the bigger engine cars or the more powerful cars have just been somehow instigating his drop away from them because of he doesn't have the performance to match him in certain areas of the track. This gap battle still goes on further back for Class D honours.
And we pick up our race leader, Clay Skinner, who's coming into the final corner. So good job for Clay Skinner. He's just gradually built that margin over Tony Virag. Comes down the main straight, and he will pick up race 1 for the weekend in the New South Wales Production Touring Car Championship. Solid drive for Skinner.
Race on for leading honours in A2. Side by side across the line, and Holt has just pipped Kane for third as well as A2.
By 0.001 of a second, 1,000th of a second, the margin at the line between those two.
Thompson ahead of Herbert. This battle that we've seen throughout the race continues, and it looks like Gray may have got the better of him at the most opportune time, i.e. the last lap, the last couple of corners coming up. As Daniel Smith takes 10th and Class D honours across the line. Pearson next ahead of Holland. Muggleton chases them across the line, and then we've got this great battle coming down to the post, and it's Gray that leads Baker and Roscalpo. Well, what is second, third and fourth in Class D? Very competitive Class D this weekend, Lockie.
It's good to see so many Class D cars. Confirmation of your results there. So Skinner, Virag, Holt, Kane, your top 4. Skinner, your Class A1 winner. Holt, your Class A2 winner. And Herbert in position number 6 wins Class B1 for the high performance all-wheel drive cars. Here are your class winners. So Adam Gosling gets the win in Class B2. Stuart Vaughan in the Mazda 6 Diesel gets the chocolates in Class C. Daniel Smith in Class D, and Andrew McMaster in Class E. For those of you tuning in on the live stream, we're going to break from the racing action for now. We've got some other little features and interviews to play in the interim. For those of you trackside here though at Wakefield Park, it's time for HQ Holdens next, and we'll be welcoming Dave Amor into the commentary box for race number 1 for the HQs very shortly. Welcome back, everybody. This is round number 3 of the Cairns New South Wales Motor Racing Championships at Wakefield Park. Great to have your company right around the circuit, and also on 87.8 Wakefield Park FM. Lachlan Mansell up in the commentary box.
Tommy's such a good starter copy in my hands. But yeah, just the way Dan was running, it was like his arms are out, he'd go like that. I'm like, oh, I wish I had my phone out. Drunk
Who's the gentleman on the wall? I don't have there's no one else there. Why the fuck are you there?
Well, I looked at that and I go, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right. As long as that's facing the right way.
How would you like to double your garage space and work on your cars easily? Well, bring in your own hero with a Lift King hoist. Easy to install models in 1, 2 and 4 post styles. Check the very nifty Spider 2500 or Mini Scissor Lift. Hero hoists are either Oz certified or carry the Euro CE, your guarantee of quality construction and reliability. I regularly stand under my Lift King, so when you need a bit of a lift, why don't you go stand under yours?
Little M Apparel for all your alteration and dressmaking needs.
Winner on pole position, the green flag waves, and it's a good start for Jarvis. He will slot ahead of Hugh McAllister into the lead. Russell Wright pokes his nose down on the inside of McAllister, but has to tuck back in behind. Chad Cotton moves up into position number 4, and then it's Craig Harris in 5th position. Cameron Sendall and Greg Willis going side by side on the run down into turn number 3. It's Sendall who picks up that position.
Already Jarvis has stretched that margin out in front. McLean continues and at a slower rate. Lewis back out on the track. So he will go on to finish this one.
But the checkered flag's going to come out this time around, and making it 3 wins from 3 races in the Mazda RX-8 Cup Series. Congratulations. I think that might have been the Andrew Roberts car that was starting from last, has not managed to get away off the start line. Shields leads them way ahead of Jones. Babutas moves up into... No, Babutas has actually lost a spot, has he? Jarrett Ruff's got an excellent start.
Jarrett Ruff, of course, came from Prototype Series, had a reasonably good...
Of course, he's fallen back behind.
Oh,
and we've got contacts. That's Courtney Prince and Nathan Hearn coming together at turn number 1. What it's designed to do and dissipated the energy with the wheels and wishbones collapsing as they're supposed to. Here comes Hunter McElrae though. Pole position and 2 wins. A perfect score for him so far to kickstart the 2018 Australian Formula Ford Championship. Race number 4 underway for the Legend cars, and it is James Burge who slots into the lead.
Morse back to 3rd behind Horrigan in the turn into 1. Jagger up to 4 ahead of car number 2. That's Josh Horrigan. So he's made a reasonably good start as well, and Horrigan goes down the inside of Jagger in turn 3, and he's been followed.
X5 who hits the early lead. A few quick cars coming through from a bit further back in the pack. Watch out.
Hi, I'm Lachlan Manee from the number 14 McGowan for CHE Racing Team. and Southern Star Truck Centre. Join me for a lap around Wakefield Park in the Formula Ford. Here we are coming down the main straight of Wakefield, tuck into the wall, flat out through turn 1, slight kink, down back to your gears for turn 2. Make sure you get a good exit for turn 3, which is a fast left-hander. You have to carry lots of speed. Hold third gear through here, stay to the left, go down back to second. Be sure to keep the car alive coming through turn 4 over the top of the hill into turn 5. Now the exit into 6, pull third gear. Slight lift to get the nose of the car in and back on the throttle, setting up for the fish hook. So this is a tight left-hander. Make sure to nail the apex, run about 3/4 track exit, back on the throttle, quick lift for turn 9, back on the throttle, all about setting yourself up for turn 10. So pulling 4th gear, back down 3rd, 2nd, turning in, nailing the apex, quite a late apex there, to finish your lap at Wakefield Park. Welcome to round 3 of the Australian Formula Ford Championship, my home track, Wakefield Park.
How would you like to double your garage space and work on your cars easily? Well, bring in your own hero with a Lift King hoist. Easy to install models